Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dima Tutorials, and Dima Tutorials is all about helping students to pass their exams on the use of English and on literature. And today I want to discuss a very simple topic: question tags. Question tags, and this refers to a very short clause that you see at the end of a statement that changes the statement into a question. It refers to a very short clause which you see at the end of a statement that changes the statement into a question. Let's take an example or two examples. You understand my lessons, don't you? You understand my lessons, don't you? Don't you is a question tag that's been added to the statement. You understand my lessons to make the statement to become a question. Now the second example, she's really good at mathematics. She's really good at mathematics, isn't she? Isn't she is a question tag that's been added to she's really good at mathematics to change the statement into a question. Hope you understand. Now in JAMB, you always see questions on this topic. You always see a few questions on this topic in the lesson structure section, and you are being expected to either provide the correct question tag or to provide the right answer to the question tag. You are either required to provide the right answer to a question tag or provide the right question tag to a statement. Answering questions on this topic is very simple. Very simple. It only requires you to know the simple rules that guide providing the right question tag to a statement or providing the right answer to a question tag. Now let's see the rules. The rules of answering questions on question tags. Now the first rule, which is very important, is to make sure that you provide a negative question tag if the statement is positive. Make sure you provide a negative question tag if the statement is positive, and if the statement is negative, make sure you provide a positive question tag or a positive answer to a question tag. What do I mean by a statement being negative or positive? A statement is negative when it contains not or no. A statement is negative when it contains not or no. And a statement is positive when it does not contain not or no. When it does not contain not or no, it is positive. Now, what I'm saying is that when a statement does not have not or does not have no, the question tag must have not or no, as the case may be. And if the statement has not, the question tag must not have not. The question tag must not have not if the statement has not. The same with providing the right answer to the question tag. If the question tag has not, the right answer you're going to give will not have not. And if the question tag does not have not, the answer you're going to give will have not. Now let's see some examples. You are preparing for your exams, aren't you? You are preparing for your exams, aren't you? Now the statement does not have not. The question tag aren't you has not. Aren't is the contrasted form of are not. N apostrophe T is the contrasted form of not. So the question tag has not because the statement does not have not. Now let's see another example. You won't tell him my secret, will you? You won't tell him my secret, will you? Now the statement has not. The question tag does not have not. The statement has not. The question tag does not have not. Won't is the contrasted form of will not. I hope you are following. Now let's see another example. This time you have to provide the correct answer to the question tag. The correct answer to the question tag, no longer the question tag to the statement, but the correct answer now to the question tag. I remember what I told you: when the question tag does not have not, the answer will have not, just the same way. Now let's see an example. You'll pass use of English, won't you? You'll pass use of English, won't you? What's the answer? Yes, I guess yes, I will is your answer. Now, your response, is it negative or positive? It is positive because the question tag is negative. Won't you is negative. Won't you, like I said earlier, is the contrasted form of will not. It contains not. Your answer is yes, I will. It does not contain not. So whether you are providing the correct answer to the question tag, or you are providing the correct question tag to a statement, the rule is the same. When the statement does not have not, the question tag will have not. When the question tag does not have not, the answer to the question tag will have not. I believe it's clear now. You understand it perfectly. Now, let's look at the second rule. It has only 3 rules, and those 3 rules are very simple. Now, in the second rule, the tense of the tag is determined by the tense of the auxiliary verb in the statement. The tense of the tag, the tense of the question tag is determined by the tense of the auxiliary verb in the statement. What this means is that if the auxiliary verb in the statement is in the past tense, then the tag has to be in the past tense. If the auxiliary verb in the statement is in the present tense, the tag will also be in the present tense. So I cannot say I am eating, wasn't I, is wrong, because the auxiliary verb am in the statement I am eating is in the present tense. The auxiliary verb in the question tag has to also be in the present tense and not in the past tense. So that's why it's wrong to say wasn't I. Wasn't I. So the correct thing to say is I am eating, ain't I? I am eating, ain't I? And not I am eating, wasn't I? The auxiliary verb in the statement is in the present tense, and the auxiliary verb in the question tag has to also be in the present tense. Now let's say another example where you have to provide the correct answer to your question tag. Let's provide the correct answer to the question tag of the statement. I am eating, ain't I? The correct answer is yes, I am. Because am that is in the answer is in the present tense, just like the am you have in the statement, or ain't you have in the question tag. So the tense has to be the same. Now let's see an example from 2016 past questions. Question 70. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria couldn't have won if they hadn't prepared well. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria couldn't have won if they hadn't prepared well. We have option A, can't they? Option B, couldn't they? Option C, could they? And D, can they? Now, the auxiliary verb in the statement couldn't, is it present tense or past tense? Is it in the present tense or in the past tense? Is in the past tense. Couldn't, could is in the past tense. Is the past tense of can. Now, what are we going to do first? What we're going to do first is to strike off all the options that are in the present tense. Now, option A, can't they? Can't they? Can't is cannot. So, can in cannot is in the present tense. So, it's not the correct answer. We're striking it off. And option D, can they? Can is the present form of could. So, we are striking off option D because it's in the present tense. Remember our rule. The auxiliary verb in the statement has to have the same tense with the auxiliary verb in the question tag. Now, you struck off option A and option D because they do not obey this rule. Now, we are left with option B and option C. Couldn't they? And option C, could they? These two options are in the past tense. Now, this is where we are going to apply the first rule. The first rule says if the statement is negative, the question tag will be positive. So that will make us strike off option B. Now we are left with option C, which is the correct answer. I hope that is well understood. Now let's look at the third rule, the last one. When a statement does not contain an auxiliary verb, that is, when the statement is in the simple present or simple past tense, you should use the verb do in the question tag. when the statement does not have an auxiliary verb, that is when the statement is in the simple present tense or simple past tense, you should use the verb do in the question tag. The verb do is used in 3 forms in question tags. You can use it as do, that's do, do. You can use it as did, which is the past tense of do. And you can also use it as does, which is the third person singular form of do. Third person singular form of do. So you can use do, did, or does when you do not have an auxiliary verb in the statement when providing the correct question tag. Now let's see an example from 2019 past questions. Question 28. He wrote to you. He wrote to you. We have option A, hadn't he? Option B, wouldn't he? C, hasn't he? And D, didn't he? The statement does not contain a helping verb or an auxiliary verb, so we will choose the option that contains do. The statement only has one verb, which is wrote, and wrote is the main verb of the statement, so it does not contain an auxiliary verb. If I said, I am writing to you, I am writing to you, the statement has 2 verbs, am and writing. Am is the auxiliary verb, and writing is the main verb. But he wrote to you has only one verb, and which is the main verb, and does not contain an auxiliary verb. For that reason, we are going to use the verb do in the question tag. We are going to use do to form the question tag. And the only option that contains do is option D, didn't he? Didn't he? Did is the past form of do. And also notice that it obeys the first rule of having a negative form when the statement has a positive form. He wrote to you is positive. It has a positive form because it does not contain not. And this option, option D, contains not. It has a negative form. I hope you understand that. So these are the 3 rules of answering questions on question tag. They are very simple, right? Yes, they are very simple. If the statement contains not, the question tag will not contain not. If the question tag contains not, the answer to the question tag will not contain not. That's number 1 rule. The second rule, the tense of the auxiliary verb in the statement to determine the tense of the question tag. If the auxiliary verb in the statement is in the present tense, then the auxiliary verb in the question tag will also be in the present tense. Now, and lastly, if the statement does not contain an auxiliary verb, what you do is to use the verb do to form the question tag. Use the verb do to form the question tag, which can be did or does, whichever one that is suitable. Use the verb do to form the question tag in a statement that does not have an auxiliary verb. I hope you now understand this topic fully. Please do not forget to give this video a thumb up. Click on the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed, and share the video to your friends on your social media platforms. Please share the video to your friends. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time in another video. Bye for now.